Welcome, guys. It is another episode of the Football Therapy for Arsenal, and I'm joined here with a group of lovely Arsenal fans, passionate Arsenal fans, and I think we are going to chop it down today. How are we doing, guys?
Good. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. See. Shepard's ready. Let's go. Let's go.
Just hot as hot. Today is very hot. Today
It is hot, man. It is hot. It is very, very hot. Right, guys. I wanted us to talk about not only last season, but also going into next season as well, right? So there's a couple of things that I wanted to share. First of all is the potential signing of this guy. I don't know if you guys know him. Have you guys seen him before?
Baller.
Get him.
Yeah, baller.
Baller.
Yeah, big baller. What are we thinking of him?
I was running that agenda like as soon as I knew Leicester were getting relegated and halfway through the season, I was already saying if they're gone, get me El Khanous. That guy is quality.
He's actually techie as well. Like when you watch him play, he's techie.
I was running that conversation early on in the season. I was like, he looks really good. Towards the end of the season, when I know Leicester were going, I was like, get him. I want him so bad.
The thing is, yeah, I know Man City are talking about Cherki and everyone's gassed about this Cherki, but I see the hype. But I would prefer him because I see him as more of a 8/10 as opposed to just being a number 10.
The way he travels with the ball, I think is brilliant. I think you see it for Leicester at times last year. The way he brought the ball out in terms of the ball come out from defence into midfield at points, and he'd literally just he walked past a few players and just continued to just run forward. And to be fair, he was impressive. He's a techie guy as well, and he can play. He can play multiple positions. He can play out wide. He can play in the centre, and he's quite an impressive player to watch. To be fair.
How much do you guys reckon he's worth then, El Khanous, considering they got relegated?
I think Leicester would easily take about 30 million for him.
I'll get him for 30 million.
Easy.
Yeah, I'll take him for 30 million. I mean,
easy.
We spent 30 million on Fabio Vieira.
See, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I said him first. That's the reason why I said him first, because I was going to go into the next part, which is the next guy, which is Fabio Vieira. Like, what is happening with him? Because he's still playing for Porto, obviously for the Club World Cup. I'm looking at people's faces and just like, mate.
You know what?
What is happening with Vieira? Go on, Chef.
You know what with Vieira, right? It's a shame. Like when he first came in a protective boot. So he never really got a proper pre-season out of him. And there's been times where he's come in, he's actually played a couple of decent appearances. I remember his first goal against Brentford. You know, you look at that goal he scored, he was easing himself into the game, into his Arsenal career. But he's just constantly been injured. And he's a player that hasn't adapted to the Premier League, the physicality of it. He's a talented player. I think his crossing is pretty cool. Dead ball is pretty cool. But I think it's a player that we are lucky to even get 20 million out of from for Porto. I think there is a player that is talented. If he never made a transfer to Arsenal, he could have been one of those representing PSG or making a transfer to Man City, because he was one of the most talented players out of the Vitinhas. Yeah. When Arsenal would sign him, I was really excited because it was a £35 million. His stats and his numbers were actually very good. He over 10 goals and assists. And I thought that was a wise, smart transfer, but it's just a player that's not worked out. Watching him in the Club World Cup, I haven't watched a lot of him, but he's had a couple of standout moments. I think, was it the game against Palmeiras? He puts in a good couple of crosses. So the dead ball crossing ability is there, but I think it's a player that's like Sambi Lokonga, like Nuno Tavares. He's not become a good, important first team player or even a rotation. He's a player that's fallen behind the pecking order of like Waneri, for example. And I think it's a player that we should let go for his own sake, of his own career, so that he can have. Pardon?
I said I think I saw a game he was in the Club World Cup, and I think he done a couple of decent crosses and made a couple of decent passes, and then there was a point where I think he controlled the ball, and then he made a pass, and the pass just went to his manager.
Yeah, like I feel like Messi, and then tries to travel it.
It's like I think he travelled, and then it was like it just went to his manager, I'm like, okay, for £35 million, that's a lot of money in fairness to back.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You see what you said there? Because I was looking at him as well, and I was watching him with eagle eyes, right? And I was looking, going, impress me. Give me some sort of feeling that I want you to like. Yeah,
But
I'll give you another
wasn't
chance.
showing.
It wasn't showing, and this is what I'm trying to say, guys. I want us to be a bit more cutthroat. I think Arsenal are not cutthroat.
100%.
What do you
Yeah,
guys
I
think?
agree.
They're not cutthroat enough.
Bid him. Get him
Do
gone.
you know what it is with him? He's just not physically ready for the Prem, and I don't think he
Yeah.
ever will be. Technically, he's a good player, and he makes some decisions. Do you remember when he came on and he got sent off?
Yeah.
Do you remember that game? I was at the game. I can't
yeah.
remember, but he came on. He done this silly tackle, and he's like, but it was a red
Oh,
card. I was like,
yeah,
he's
no, I
going. He's
remember.
gone.
Mm.
I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, you're not physically. He's not ever come. Technically, don't get me wrong. Like you guys have said, he can cross the ball. He can play passes. He's good at intricate kind of play. Technically, good player. But in the Prem, you need physicality. You can't just come and think it's Spain and part. It was never gonna work. That's
He
why
was
for me,
always Spain,
recoup
though.
whatever you can from him. Go get whatever you can. Like for me, there's players that play for Arsenal that should not be playing for Arsenal anymore.
Like
Simple.
who?
Zinchenko is the biggest one for me.
Really?
He's got to go.
Right? Can I say something? Do you think like in midfield that he was coming in, done a decent little job? Do you think he might be good for like squad depth?
I don't want him.
Don't shoot me,
No.
please. I'm just asking.
I don't want him.
Not for
We've
the wages
outgrown
he's
him.
on. Not
Can
for
I-
the
can I-
wages he's on. Not for
can
the
I say
wages
something?
he's on.
2022-23 Zinchenko. I think Jay actually reposted it on TikTok, but
Because that's Zinchenko.
him in 2022-23 season, he cooked. He was really good when he played that inverted fullback role and he started playing really, really well. He looked good, but
I think
then
I think that was before that Man City defeat where we lost 4-1. I think that's complete that game. I think or before that when Trent done him and then
They were just attacking his side, didn't it?
Yeah.
Every time.
that completely changed the trajectory of Zinchenko's career at Arsenal, where Arteta swifted his tactics to avoid losing, avoid getting battered, where we've become a bit more defensive.
Yeah.
We've then since then signed the likes of Calafiori, Lewis Skelly's been playing left back. Tomiyasu, even though when he's been fit and available, has been picked ahead of him at left back. Timber's playing at left back. And while I do think Zinchenko's first touch is amazing, he's got a good pass. I just don't think he's physically fit enough for the Premier League. He's a player that's I just would sell him at a glance if AC Milan offered £20 million for him, £30 million for him. Yeah, I'll take my losses on him.
I'll take 15 million.
Can I just ask you man a question though? Still, I think our highest sale is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Pellegrin as well.
Arsenal
Pellegrin for
Football
35 as
Club.
well.
Arsenal Football Club are the worst selling club in the history of the Premier League by far. And it ain't close, bro. It's not.
I actually disagree with that.
Nah, we're the worst by far.
The reason why I say that is because we managed to get like £30 million for Eddie Nketiah that wasn't even scoring goals after that hat-trick against Sheffield United. We managed to sell a Haylender in Folarin Balogun for a similar amount as well.
It was when we got 40 million for Iwobi.
I think it is starting to get a little bit better, bit by bit, where the players are not.
I haven't seen enough though.
Like,
I hear you in a sense because obviously those like players like Nketiah and then Balogun as well. But then at the same time, like take the situation we're in with Partey, right?
Yeah,
that's a player who has essentially played most of the minutes last season. Of course, he's run down his contract, but as a player, we're letting go for free. Another one, Jorginho, another player we're letting go for free. It's like I kind of look at it and I think to myself, you shouldn't be in a position where as a top club you're letting players who played a key role during your campaign during the season. You shouldn't be in a position where you're letting these guys go for free. If it gets to a point where your players are running down their contracts, this, that, the other. Either if you're in a position to get money from them earlier, let them go earlier, or start negotiating that new deal from early to at least get something, to at least recruit something.
And I think that's what we've struggled with. We're not ruthless enough. And I
Not
think
not ruthless enough at all.
somebody like Andrea Berto, in a sense, I think of what he was like at Atletico Madrid, I think if he stays and continues to do what he's doing, I think that will happen. You've seen that with Gabriel already. That as soon as he's coming, the first thing he wants to do, bang, Gabriel new contract.
Yeah.
There's good things, there's good signs from him to start off with, but I need exactly what Jay said. I even need you to make a decision and go, I'm going to offer you a new contract. Are you going to take it? If not, we'll bin you off. But we need money.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why Berta's come in, and I think you guys need to remember as well. When Berta was at Atletico Madrid, they bought Soloff and they bought Alvarez as well. Yeah. And you need to remember as well, Soloff was a little bit early. I think it was in July times, and then Alvarez was really, really late. So I'm not worried. I would have been worried if Edu was still at the helm. If Edu was still here, I would have been.
But it's still, do you know what it is though? It's a historical thing, bro. Like it's been going on. Like we sold Mavropanos for 2 million. Then I think in like 6 months or a year they sold him for 15 million.
Yeah.
We let Aubameyang go for free. He went for 6 months. Then they sold him for like 18 million. It's like we keep taking these silly losses.
Like we pretty much, I feel like for me, we funded some of City's signings a couple of seasons ago when we bought Zinchenko and Jesus.
We needed them at that point, though. We were
but again,
they helped us elevate.
Yeah, they did. But I'll tell you what, whether we bought them or not, Man City were always going to buy them.
Yeah. But
to be fair, Chelsea did end up like Chelsea ended up buying Palmer for 40 million and Sterling for 45. So that equated to part of it as well. And then they made their signings. And I think
and
I feel like with Arsenal, we have to like be. I think there's a few players that we'd have to get rid of that we've brought that we should have got rid of, and that we can't even get much money for them.
So
they can become decent players.
If I had to go around quickly, just very quickly, name the players that you'd get rid of instantly, not maybe instantly. Who would you get rid of? Clayton starting you, then go Garnachev, Jay, and then Erson.
Okay.
Zinchenko, Tomiyasu. I'm on the.
Yeah, let me get the squad list.
Do you know what I'm saying? But
I'll get the squad. Let me get the squad list.
I could go Zinchenko, Sambi Lokonga, Tomiyasu, Gabriel Jesus, Reece Nelson. Jorginho's already gone. Tavares is gone. Thomas Partey looks like he's going. That's already like 8 players there.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of. I wouldn't. Do you know what? After Kiri I would have got rid of him, but now that I've seen him, he came in. I ain't getting rid of him.
I agree. Again, I agree. We need squad depth. Like
I'll go.
I think it.
Tierney's gone. Sound okay. I think get rid of Tomiyasu. Get rid of Zinchenko. Yeah, cool. I think Partey's gone. That's fine. I think midfield is what it is. Get rid of Jesus. Get rid of Sterling's gone. Thank the Lord. Get rid of Fabio Vieira. Get rid of Sambi Lokonga. Again, I think get rid of Reece Nelson. I think that's that for me.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with all of that. I think
literally it's a very straightforward thing.
Yeah,
everyone can look out and make it. Okay, cool. These are guys. But this is what's key, though, right? This is what's key, though. Look at the amount of names that we've just read out, right? That's a good 8, 9 players, and of a squad that we had this season when we already saw it was thin. So how you go about in this window, you actually do need to replace a lot of players because ultimately we're trying to compete on all fronts next season. I'm not trying to be in a position where we're going out of all of the domestic cups early and then just to prioritize. If we're actually trying to be serious this season, then we should go into next season trying to compete in all of the cups. And in order to do that, you're going to need a squad. So it's like the times where you choose to replace these players as well, because as much as I don't want people like Tavares, I don't want people like Tomiyasu, I don't want people like Fabio Vieira. That's great, but equally we still need bodies there. As we saw this season, we still need people there who are actually of a decent quality, because I don't want another Sterling situation where you don't even trust them at all. So you do need to replace these players, and you need to be smart about the way you go out of your way to replace them.
I agree.
I think it's important that we make our decisions early and not just faff around. I think there's a few players that we are. I think with Arsenal, we've always had a thin squad, and that's never been good enough. I don't want to look into the Carabao Cup as a nothing competition where people don't care about it. I want to look at that Carabao Cup with a big squad and go, we can win that with the Premier League. And I don't think we because our squad is always thin. Our fans, the fan base, just look into those competitions, the FA Cups, the Carabao Cup, and just think, oh, if we get knocked out, it ain't that deep. We could just focus on the league because of how thin our squad is. Whereas we should be more ambitious to the point where the Carabao Cup actually helped Arsenal in the league, where we can rotate while playing some of our best players, get the best out of them where they improve to win that Carabao and give us the momentum for the rest of the season. I think we have to go out there and buy 2 forwards, one or two midfielders, and maybe even one extra defender and one goalkeeper, so that we are sorted out. So that when we come into the first game of the season, and then we got a Carabao or a Champions League game in midweek, we're covered.